Hi, hello everyone. This is Jay Hariharan studying in ACRI in Kilikulam. I am here to explain you about the fundamentals of agricultural economics. In this video, I will explain you about the public sector economics. Public sector economics is concerned with the study of how government can deal with the failure of markets to achieve efficient outcomes. It explains how is the invisible hand of market is tempered by the visible hand of government. It is certainly not confined within the covers of a dry and a dusty textbook. It is neither heavily theoretical nor an abstract area of intellectual inquiry. It is out there in the real world, influencing small details that make up our everyday lives. The pure definition. Public sector economics is a branch of economics and an area of study that is concerned with justifying the existence of governments and explaining how they can affect economic activity. It is the part of the economy composed of both public services and public enterprises. It is a portion of economy composed of all levels of government and government controlled enterprises. The role of public sector. I have listed out a few roles of public sector here that are generation of income, capital formation, employment, infrastructure, strong industrial base, export promotion and import substitution, contribution to central exchequer, checking concentration of income and wealth, removal of regional disparities. There are few advantages of public sector economics. First one, autonomy. Next, protection of public interest. Next, red tapeism minimized. Speedier decisions. Erase of rising funds. Comparative prices. Economic of sale. Employee welfare. Let me explain this one by one with a clear explanation. Autonomy. Public sector is an autonomous setup. Therefore, it enjoys considerable independency and flexibility in its operations. Initiatives can be taken to tap opportunities and to improve efficiency. Next, protection of public interest. Public corporations can formulate and implement policies which promote public welfare. Policies of the corporations are subject to ministerial review and parliamentary scrutiny. Therefore, it would be ensured that public interest is protected and promoted. Red tape is minimized. In a public corporation, red tapeism and bureaucratic delays are minimized to a great extent. A file need not pass through different levels of bureaucracy as in a departmental undertaking. Speedier decisions. Since bureaucracy and red tapeism are reduced to a considerable extent in public corporations, quick decisions can be taken. Delays in decision making is avoided and therefore problems can be solved faster. Opportunities can be tapped in a better manner and overall functioning of the organization is improved. Erase of rising funds. Since public corporations are government owned statutory bodies, they can raise the required funds by issuing bonds. They need not entirely depend on the government for their financial requirements. Comparative prices. Profit is not the primary motive of public corporations, so it does not strive to charge high prices to maximize profits. Since it is basically formed to serve the public interest, it charges lower prices. Such lower prices benefit the general public and more number of people are able to consume the services of public corporation. Economic of sale. Since they operate on a large scale, public corporations can reap the benefits of economics of scale. The benefits derived from economics of scale can be passed on to the general public in the form of cheaper prices, stable prices, better quality of services, etc. Employee welfare. A public corporation flows in its own recruitment policy. It can recruit the best talent and provide them appropriate training. Better perks and amenities can be provided to the employees, which improves their motivation level. Through these measures, it is able to maintain a healthy employer-employee relationship and attract, retain talent and improve productivity levels. Next, disadvantages of public sector. First disadvantage comes political interference, misuse of power, financial burden, consumer interest ignored, antisocial activities, expensive to maintain and operate, risk of producing inefficient products. Let me explain this political interference first. Example, let me take an example. Even after the steep increase in oil prices in global markets, ONGC is not able to increase its price in the domestic markets because of political interference. Public corporations are state enterprise. Through autonomy in functioning, it is said to be one of the strong points of public corporations. The reality is otherwise. They suffer from continued political interference and have to act according to the wishes of political masters. Misuse of power. It enjoys immunity from parliamentary inquiry into its day-to-day functioning. Such immunity might induce some officials to misuse their power and indulge in corrupt practices. It takes considerable amount of time and effort to unearth corrupt acts and corporation losses valuable resources. Financial burden. When a public corporation incurs losses, the government provides subsidies to make good loss. Such provision of subsidies on a regular basis places a great strain on government finances, more so in the case of developing economic like India. Consumer interest ignored. Many public corporations operate as monopoles. Absence of competition leads to lethargic functioning, reduced focus on efficiency improvements and innovation, and poor customer service, with the result that consumer interests are ignored. Next, antisocial activities. Antisocial activities in this sense, they charge more for a cheaper products, expensive to maintain and operate, which implies that the large scale companies are very expensive to maintain and operate. Risk of producing inefficient products. This is an intention for the public sector to produce this type of inefficient products. Next, we will be discussing about the comparison chart. We will be discussing this chart now. Base comparison chart. But what is the comparison between public sector and the private sector? By what basis they are compared will be discussed in this minutes. First, basis of comparison. Meaning, public sector, the section of nation's economy which is under control of government, whether it is central, state or local, is known as public sector. Whereas private sector, the section of nation's economy which is owned and controlled by private individuals or companies, known as private sector. Next basis of comparison is basic objective. For public sector, to serve the nation's citizens of country is the preliminary objective of the public sector economy. Whereas in private sector, their only motive is to earning profit. Next basis of comparison is raises money from, that is, the public sector economies raises money from their public revenue like a tax, duty, penalty, etc. Whereas private sector means issuing shares and debentures or by taking loan. What are the areas that cover public sector? The police, army, mining, health, manufacturing, electricity, education, transport, agriculture, banking, insurance, etc. Whereas in private sector, finance, information technology, telecommunication, construction, pharmaceuticals, etc. What are the benefits of working in public sector? Job security, retirement benefits, allowance, perquisites. Whereas in private sector, good salary package, competitive environment, incentive, etc. Basis of promotion in public sector comes under seniority, whereas in private sector they will be given promotion by merit basis. That's all about the public sector. Thank you.